Today I'm going to talk about my dev setup. A little disclaimer: I do work for Amazon, so this is not a review of Kiro. I don't want to get in trouble with the powers that be. This is just my dev setup as it stands. I was using Cursor quite a bit, Windsurf, and now Windsurf and Kiro are synonymous, I guess. So that at some point in time I was using Claude Code as well, and I decided that in order to be the best, highest functioning version of me, there's certain things I'm going to do in VS Code straight up, and there's going to be certain things that I do in other of these editors. What I really like about Kiro is that you start with a kind of design first. Like you can see here, I just completed part of an application that I'm working on, and it goes off and creates a set of requirements. Then it follows that list of requirements. Like here's one I haven't started yet. So you think of it this is like an epic. Like I have this function that's going to be part of a much bigger application, and I'm working on it in 3 parts. There's like a CAD to URDF part. There's a URDF optimization part, which we're in right now, and then there's this like control code part that takes advantage of the full URDF file, which I've built parts of that out and demonstrated a few of those in prior videos. So the idea here, what I wanted to do at the end, matter of fact, I'll show the little work in progress, the little whip, is I want this thing to be able to take in URDF files, so URDF files have already been created, and then be able to modify them at will. And that's not normal that you would ever really do that particular thing, because typically you're starting with a CAD file and then you're working your way down to the URDF, and then you're using that in your control code. But in my particular case, what I'm trying to do is allow modifications that maybe simplify the CAD model, or change, make diversions from the CAD model for various reasons. So I started out with something simple like primitives, and I'm writing some kind of basic code that says, okay, go through all this, and so these are like the examples, and then I can say, like I'll take that last example, explain what this is about, the inertial properties at least. And I haven't tested this, so you're getting a fully live test right now. Let's see if it's able to go through this little bit of code. Yeah, so they're going to dive into the inertial properties. I guess that was a general question. Okay, sure. I'll accept that. Maybe I want to know about this particular URDF file, like what do the inertial properties do there, and that might be a different question. But the point of this is not the in functionality. It's about it creating the spec. Here it created this spec for CAD to URDF integration platform, and then which I haven't started yet. And I like the idea of like these specs, because then you can go off and any point in time work on any piece of it. Like here's the URDF QA agent spec. It's actually working on this right now, and it completed this last task, this like human in the loop feature. And so I do want to test that, but just for demonstration, I'm going to have it start a new task, which is this quality scoring and metric system. So I'm going to click on Start Task, and then it's going to start, and there's Claude 4 Sonnet. Your other choices are Claude 3.7. Interesting. I'm going to let that go. But I also, again, will be working on some completely different part of functionality, or maybe even a completely different application at the same time. I have 3 windows. My brain could probably handle 3 different things at once, given that I'm not, working on something for work. So here's another thing that's going on right now. Obviously, do a lot of work with Isaac Sim and Isaac Lab, and I like to be able to start up functionality super quickly. I like to be able to just use the system, these systems that are already built up, and so I, built out this core set of functionality. Unfortunately, every time that I make a change, then it seems VS Code forgets the changes that I've made. So what I've done is I implement a little system that tells VS Code always look at these files before doing anything. And if I don't run that, then it does not, I'm sorry, yeah, it's probably kind of weird to look at, but it does not go off and look at that other file before doing anything. And now, as you can see here, it's looking for Isaac Sim 2024, so basically 4.5 or 4.6 Isaac Sim instead of Isaac Sim 5.0. That's really, really frustrating because we've already done this, like gone back and looked over this a dozen times. So it's trying to tell me, oh, fix the environment. Your environment's broken. Well, it's not broken. I know that because I've put that in this kind of, for every agent, I want it to look over this particular file first before doing anything. So I've created this file, and it comprehensively always looks at this file before starting to do its work. And now I've noticed if you go to, say I were to make a change right now, it will actually create another new file called VS Code MD file. So I've been doing this for months and months, creating these kinds of files, this agent handoff. But now I see that VS Code is already in if you have the extension for GitHub Copilot, is now starting to layer in a single file that's kind of a README for the agent, and I call mine the agent handoff. But if you go to VS Code and you do something new, you'll get that now. So let me just type in something just to let's see. Let's test basic functionality of this app. And funny is I use the microphone, and the one thing I can say about Kiro I don't like is there's no microphone input yet. Hopefully that's coming soon. So okay, sure. I'm not sure this is going to do much of anything, but sure, if you want to do that, it's a complete waste of time. But it's going to search all of this. Instead of doing that, it should have looked at my agent handoff, and then you can manually say start with my agent handoff, and then maybe that's what I'll say this time. I'll show you guys how I've set that up so that it does it automatically. Look in the agent handoff file first. So it's going to go look in the agent handoff file, but that's exactly what Kiro is doing. Yes, there. Okay, now it knows where to find its basic functionality, right? But you wouldn't want to do this every time. Now it finds the camera control node and blah 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 blah, and we don't care about that right now. But the idea is that wouldn't that be better if it just automatically checked that every time? And it does now using Kiro, and then also now VS Code has its new GitHub Copilot extension does create a new file that does a similar thing. You might also notice, I thought I had one in here, that sometimes that you'll see both the VS Code file, inside of VS Code here, in here, you might notice that GitHub Copilot puts a file in here now. That's a new thing that it's doing. I don't seem to have one, but if you go into this file, the VS Code file, sometimes that's what you'll see. Okay, I think this is fairly long enough. Any questions about that? Reach out. I'm starting to use the new a new model that I think is fairly good, and it's the Kimi K2 model. I'm using that in my local development. I think it's awesome. However, I'm not always on my beefy desktop, and sometimes I'm on the go with my laptop. So I just want to be sure that I can be versatile with other using some of the tools that everybody else uses. So I stay up and running with these editors like Kiro, like Cursor, Windsurfer, Claude Code, VS Code, all of that. I stay, just current with these things because you never know when you might use them. So here's another, just an example before I walk away. Do I want to trust running this command? Quality scoring test? Yes, it wrote that code. I've reviewed the fact that it wrote that code. I'll trust that command. But I think where a lot of developers go wrong, and maybe I might have mentioned this in a previous video, is they run stuff they don't understand what's working, what's happening. I don't even, if it's a language that I don't understand, I don't really ever use that language. If I don't understand at least comprehension-wise what is happening, I won't use the language. Like, for instance, today I don't quite understand Rust, and so I will at some point. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a trip, and on my trip, part of my my self-defined task is to understand Rust for robotic development. It's a smooth language, a little bit better than C++, not as much support. But now that we have these code assistants, I can make anything in any language. So, one of the things that I'm looking forward to working on is Rust, and maybe in the future I'll make a video on Rust by itself. Okay, well, this is long enough, and I hope everyone's having a great day. And if you're watching this in 2025 in July, then it's probably relevant. If you watch this 6 months into the future, it's not. So just go ahead and skip on to the next video. All right, thanks. Bye.